It's Rave 91.7 FM. It's novelty all the way. Let's turn it up.
Relax and unwind because we're going live. 91.7 Wave FM.
It's time to keep you informed with all the latest happenings in the world. This is the world news on Rave 91.7 FM.
Here are the top stories of the news. Many people fear death as Boko Haram attacks a Damawa community. 2 parents arrested in United States for keeping children in chains. In Europe, explosion kills 2 people in Belgium. Bangladesh reaches agreement with Myanmar on repatriation of Rohingya Muslims. Good afternoon and welcome to the World News on Rave 91.7 FM. My name is Femi. Olanipekun. Now the news in detail. Many people were feared dead and others abducted today in a fresh attack by Boko Haram insurgents on Palam community in Madagali local government area of Adamawa State. The attack came barely a week after the terrorists launched a similar attack on neighboring Wanu, Kamali and Kafin Hausa communities of Michika and Madagali areas. According to reports, fleeing residents said the onslaught, which started at about 11 yesterday night, lasted for about 5 hours. Confirming the attack, a member representing Madagali Michika at the House of Representatives, Adamu Kamali, said the terrorists killed even livestock, looted and burned many houses. The police spokesman in the state, Othman Abubakar, told newsmen that the command would soon release details of the attack. In the meantime, Benue State Governor Samuel Otom has insisted that his state does not have land for the establishment of cattle colonies as been proposed by the federal government. President Muhammadu Buhari had yesterday at the meeting in Abuja appealed to the government and people of Benue State to accommodate their countrymen. But Governor Otom, while speaking with a State House correspondent, said the size of the land required for the proposed cattle colonies was not available in Benue. He said that the federal government should arrest and prosecute leaders of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Hore, who he accused of making inciting statements and allegedly being the brains behind the January 1st killings in parts of the state.
Like I told you the last time I came here, I did not understood what colonies was. Today I was privileged to sit with him and he did explain to me that a colony is about many ranches put in one place, restricted in one place, where the land is. So for us in Benue State, there is no 10 hectares. They are looking for 5,000 hectares. For us in Benue State, we have no 10 hectares to allow it for that kind of a thing to take place. So people are free. Other states have the land. We in Benue State, we don't have, and that was what led to us enacting this law.
Governor Otom lamented that several people were killed in the recent attacks, while more than 60,000 people were displaced. He noted that while the current situation in the state was relatively calm, there were still pockets of issues. The governor also denied reports that he was arming militias, describing the allegation as mere distraction. Second Republic Senator Ayo Fasomi has felicitated with the former governor of Osun State, a national leader of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Chief B.C. Akonde, on his 79th birthday. In a congratulatory statement sent to Rave FM News, Senator Fasomi described Chief Akonde as a leading Aoist. The Feni chieftain recalled when he brought the former Osun State governor into the fold of the progressive family under the leadership of the late Femi Awolowo. He said the APC national leader left a legacy of integrity and transparency on which Governor Rauf Aregbesola has continued to build upon. Senator Fasomi prayed that Chief Akonde will celebrate more good years with sound health. Away from Nigeria, United States President Donald Trump has said he was totally misrepresented by those saying he used a derogatory term to describe African nations last week. Mr. Trump also said in a post on Twitter that the allegation was hurting efforts to strike a deal to protect dreamer immigrants. The U.S. president was responding to a claim by Democratic Senator Dick Durbin that he used vile and racist language during a meeting on immigration reform. The alleged remarks sparked global outrage and demands that Mr. Trump should apologize. Yesterday, two senators who said the U.S. president did indeed use the disparaging remarks stood by their account of what took place. Still in the United States, two parents have been arrested in California after police found they had allegedly kept their 13 children captive at their home, with some bound to their beds with chains and padlocks. David Allen Toppin and Lou Anna Toppin were held on charges of torture and child endangerment. Police say the children, aged between 2 and 29, lived in Paris, 59 miles southeast of Los Angeles. Police said the victims, who appeared to be malnourished and very dirty, are now being treated in local hospitals. The head of one of the hospitals, Mark Ufa, said it was an unbelievable sight.
In the time we live in, it's unfortunate to see this. It's actually heartbreaking for the staff, and it's unbelievable what you see.
Officers were alerted by one of the victims, a 17-year-old girl, who managed to escape and called the emergency number using a mobile phone found inside the house. Moving to Europe, 2 people have been killed and 14 others injured when an explosion in the Belgian city of Antwerp destroyed 3 buildings. Police said 2 bodies were found under the debris today following the blast yesterday evening. 5 people were seriously injured and another was in a critical condition after the explosion in a part of the city where many students live. Police said that investigation was underway into the cause of the blast. However, Belgian media said it was likely to have been a gas explosion. In Asia, Bangladesh says it has agreed a time frame with Myanmar for repatriating hundreds of thousands of Rohingya who fled an army crackdown last year. Bangladesh says Myanmar has agreed to accept 1,500 Rohingya every week, adding that it aims to return all of them to Myanmar within 2 years. Over 650,000 Rohingya fled to neighboring Bangladesh since violence erupted in Rakhine State in August. Aid agencies have, however, raised concerns about forcibly repatriating them. The agreement did not specify when the process would begin, but said Myanmar would provide temporary shelter to those returning and later build houses for them.
Now for business news.
In business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says insufficient supply of electricity is the major constraint to business activities across the country. According to CBN, 62.6% of surveyed firms in the fourth quarter of 2017 identified poor power supply as a key problem. The Apex Bank said other concerns highlighted by the respondents included unfavorable economic climate and unclear laws. The bank noted that insufficient demand, high interest rate and competition were some other constraints to business activities in the fourth quarter of 2017. On exchange rate issues, the CBN stated that majority of the respondent firms expected the Naira to appreciate in the current and next quarters. Brent crude oil prices rose near $70 a barrel today, a level not seen since 2014's dramatic slump in crude prices. Prices have been driven up by production curbs in OPEC nations and Russia, as well as by strong demand linked to a healthy economic growth. Brent crude futures were at $69.96 per barrel, while U.S. crude futures rose $64.47 a barrel, up 17 cents from their last settlement.
This is Sportsline.
Welcome to sports. Home-based Super Eagles coach Salisu Yusuf is still optimistic about his side's chances of qualifying for the next round despite playing a goalless draw with Rwanda yesterday night. The home-based Eagles were denied 3 times by the crossbar in the first half of the draw in the opening group game of the 2018 African Nations Championship. Yusuf said during his post-match interview that the result was not a setback but rather a wake-up call for his side, who he said must take their chances in subsequent games. Nigeria faced Group C leaders and 2014 winners of the tournament, Libya, in their next game on Friday. Libya defeated Equatorial Guinea 3-0 in the group's other match yesterday. Manchester City have decided to drop their interest in signing Arsenal forward Alexis Sanchez. The club said the cost of pursuing the 29-year-old would be too expensive. It is understood the wages being demanded by Sanchez would have put him ahead of all City's star men, something the club decided they would not do. Manchester United are favourites to sign the Chile international after indicating they are willing to meet the Ghana's £35 million asking price for the forward. But when asked after the side's 3-0 victory over Stoke City yesterday night, United manager Jose Mourinho said he was relaxed about Sanchez's situation.
Not confident, but also not what's the opposite of confident? Unconfident, thank you. Just relaxed and with the feeling that he's an Arsenal player, with the feeling that he can stay there, but also with the feeling that he can move, and if he moves, I think we have a chance. But I think most probably a player like him has other big clubs interested.
Premier League champions Chelsea are also set to be interested